on YouTube? It is your boy Javen, and look, y'all. Today we have a lot to talk about. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I have a lot to get into. First thing is first. Before we do anything, appreciate all y'all for love support. We still on the road to 5K subs. Y'all make sure to like, subscribe button, and let's get to it. Okay, so before y'all even say anything to me, yes, I've already seen these tweets or this tweet from Dimework, and I told you guys a couple of days ago, or you could argue, a week ago, right, how I felt about what Dimework was doing the last couple of days, when it came to on Twitter or X, whatever platform you want to call it, whatever app you want to call it, right? Now, I'm not going to read all of this. I want y'all to just see it, okay? But there's a thing that I read in this tweet that just does not sit right with me, okay? And I'm going to get into that. So, Dimework says, I like the game and direction it seems to be going in now, okay? Now, I'm going to pause it right there. Yes, I told you guys, okay? If people like the game, that's their opinion. That is true. But to sit here and say we like how the direction of what 2K is doing. I don't think a lot of y'all don't truly understand, and I'm pretty sure Dominic understands, but this is why I told you why I had my opinion on what I had to say about him, is because I'm putting the puzzle pieces together and something just ain't right. Like, you mean to tell me, and if you are, under a wall or behind a wall and you're trying to figure, what are you talking about the direction that the game is going? 2K is going in a direction of it's all about getting you guys to purchase, purchase, and purchase, purchase, and purchase, and purchase. Okay. And I feel like we have this discussion way too many times, but I get it. A lot of y'all are new to this 2K community and you don't understand. So I don't mind explaining it to you. Right. But not even just this tweet. This is more, I'm having an issue. It's bigger than just Twitter at this point because I asked, T earlier yesterday, I was like, yo, like, didn't the Dead B have a new game called The Island? Before I even get to that talk real quick, right? I'm gonna let y'all see what Dominic said in the first tweet, right? And then again, let y'all read that. Then we'll get to this right here. But so he says, y'all been saying F2K for years where to get you. Like, I don't even know if I want to read all of this, y'all. Like, because I want to get to something else. Like, I'm tired I told you how I felt about Dimework a couple of days ago. It was nothing personal. It was just what I'm seeing, and it wasn't Dimework. You know what I'm saying? It was somebody else, right? I felt like I was looking at somebody trying to become the next Stacks Montana. Meaning, somebody who, was used to be themselves, but something happened behind the scenes that we don't know about, right? Or that we kind of caught on to, and then we realize something ain't right. Like a lot of y'all, and this is what I'm saying, why I don't even want to read the tweet. A lot of y'all right now that's like, oh, you're talking about Stacks? Yeah, he was horrible. I don't think you guys don't realize this, okay? If you are like new to this 2K community, Stacks Montana was arguably a top 2K creator. Now, I'm not saying top like he was the greatest or the best, but he was definitely top 10, okay? Stacks used to have story times. He was actually Stacks Montana. So when y'all be like, oh, nah, Dominic been saying this stuff, that's cap, okay? I have people in my DMs telling me like, yo, Dominic, he something off on him. I'm telling y'all, okay? Like, this is not just somebody trying to pick at people. Because you watch these people. You see what I'm saying? You watch them make videos, right? Or you watch their content, so okay, something ain't right. Like Stacks used to have I forgot what it was called, like, but if y'all used to watch Stacks old videos, you would be like, there's no way he's connected with 2K because he was actually Stacks. What you're seeing with Dimework, it's like they got Dimework. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna read all of this, but I want y'all to see it, right? I told you how I felt a couple of days ago, but this to me is just it's more than just 2K and their basketball game, and I'm gonna show you guys why, right? And then I'm gonna get to this comment from Beeman, okay? But if y'all didn't get to finish reading what Dominic said, I'm gonna let y'all do that. Give y'all about 2 seconds. All right, so I'm gonna move on to Beeman's comment. So the reason why I put up Beeman's comment up here, I have a problem with you said, Beeman. And let me tell you what, it's nothing personal. It's never nothing personal. So Beeman 439 4 days ago says sports games aren't a popular genre on Twitch, bro. 2K is always gonna have low Twitch viewership. Pause right there, freeze right there. Wrong, 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 wrong. Okay? Now the reason why this is what I'm saying, like you can tell when people are new. You see what I'm saying? Like you can tell, like Beeman, I hope you have not I can't what I can tell is I can tell you have not been around 2K for like years, something like that. Like you gotta be just start playing like 2K22 or 2K23. To sit here and say sports games aren't a popular thing on Twitch, you should even have a Twitch account. I don't even think you got a Twitch account. Everybody knows years back. Yes, and I'm saying years back, meaning 2K19, the two hell, even 2K18. Even that was a bad game, right? My whole point is if we go back to those years, sports games were on top. Okay. Last time I checked, if you ask a child, even to this day, like a parent's gonna be okay, if I get you this console, what games do you want? They're gonna say the sports games. So don't sit there and tell me that sports games aren't popular. Okay. Number two, to say 2K is always going to have low viewership. Again, you have not been around, right? And I want y'all, and the reason why I'm putting this comment on display, this was some of y'all be telling me, right, in my comments. And three of y'all like this comment. So three of whoever put this comment, or whoever liked this comment, y'all agree that sports games were never popular on Twitch and that 2K was always going to have a low viewership. The reason why I don't like this comment, Beeman, it seems like you're giving excuses for why 2K has failed, right? And the reason why I said 2K is because we're going to talk about the WWE game in a minute, okay? He says to put it in perspective, 2K was the fourth most played game on PS5 in February. 2K was the seventh most played last month on Xbox. 2K is still one of the most popular games. But yeah, you just said, sports games aren't a popular genre on Twitch. I don't get what you're saying. You see what I'm saying at this point? But my whole take on what you just said right there was absolute BS. Because like I said, bro, like it sounds like you're giving them an excuse to why, like, oh, the game not popular. Not, it never was. That's cap. Everybody knows 2K was arguably the number one game and have community wise. When we talk about viewership, 2K was arguably number one on the planet. That's why somebody said the 2K legend Soul Luminati said, you know what I'm saying, was good with y'all young, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, we all know that. Even though, like I said, I was Team Cash, you know what I'm saying, it was still, respect the soul and whatnot, right? But bro, everybody, all of the popular, so everybody's trying to be a streamer nowadays, right? We get all of that. Every popular streamer, Aiden, guess what game they came from, Beeman? Guess what community they came from, Beeman? Well, Jay, they also did collabs, but that's not what I just asked you. What community, what game did they grow from? Where did they blow up from? It was the 2K community. Speed, Aiden, all of these people. Duke Dennis. I'm tired of talking in circles, but I'm tired of seeing y'all give excuses for 2K why they're failing. Now, the reason why I have this on the screen right here is because, like I said, I asked T earlier, right, or last night, and I said, T, that WWE game. And I was like, I mean, I heard all this being talked about, but I was just curious because I heard about this island. Now, if you guys didn't know about the island, we made a video about that, a month ago or probably a month and a half ago, to where it was basically a city mode, right, for the WWE. Now, I don't know about y'all, but again, this is why I'm talking about the direction that 2K does or that they're doing. It's basically another city to where you, instead of you just actually playing the game and wanting to just play and have fun, it's advertisements getting you to spend, purchase, 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 and purchase. And the reason why I'm saying this and I'm showing y'all this on the screen, what did I tell y'all how I felt about the island when it was released? Or when we saw the trailer? I told you, I was like, bro, if you've played the basketball version of NBA 2K, you know how this is going to look and you know how this is going to end. Yes, the game basically just came out a month ago or a couple of weeks ago. But look at those numbers for WWE 2K25 with the island, right? With current gen and next gen, or if I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's still two games, right? Look at that viewership. I want y'all to see that for a second, right? I want y'all to see that. 317, bottom of the barrel. So this is what I'm saying. It's more than just a basketball game of 2K. 2K as a whole has failed. This idea of, hey, let's put a city in these games, it's not working. And once again, I'm only sleeping way more, bigger viewership. So once again, for anybody that's just gonna be about, oh, y'all just not entertaining. I'm only sleeping if I do that. Am I entertaining? But I'm tired of saying that, right? My whole point is back then, and I'm gonna keep saying back then because it happened. See, a lot of y'all don't like going back then because a lot of y'all struggled back then, meaning on the game wise, meaning you knew you were a player to where you didn't know what you were doing, or you had no skill set to where you hated it because you had nothing to bail you out. Now, am I saying I'm a top player that I used to be like that? No, I'm not. But one thing I can tell y'all is back then, even again, 2K, it was about logging on, playing basketball. Somebody said something that I feel like I've said numerous times, but I'm glad another content creator was able to say it because I knew I wasn't the only one. He says, you know how when you're watching an NBA game and like let's say y'all watching an All-Star game or matter of fact, let's use the playoffs for a prime example. The playoffs are about to start up. I'm pretty sure they start next week. The play-in about to start next week. Let's say there's like a big game to go to overtime, and you got people got 30, this dude got 40, and this is a tough game. It's fun to watch. That's gonna be like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I low key want to play basketball now because the way them dudes is playing. They was getting out there, it was getting active. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Y'all get what I mean though? Like they was going at it, right? You cannot load up on NBA 2K25, on NBA 2K24, on NBA 2K23, NBA 2K22, and do exactly what they were doing. See, it's not even about doing what they were doing. It's about, are you actually playing ball and having fun? You're not. And I feel like that's what people try to ignore. Like, oh, well, they're the only basketball, so technically they haven't failed. If you have that opinion, leave this video right now and leave this channel, okay? Because I don't want people like that. I don't want people to have a bunch of excuses to be here. I don't, okay? I want people to call it what it is and say what needs to be said, bro. That's like me. If I go right now and I play with randoms and I stream and I have a terrible performance, you guys are gonna say, nah, Jay, you play terrible, right? You're gonna hold me accountable and you're gonna call it what it needs to be said, right? I would hope y'all do because that's what I would do, right? I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna tell y'all some BS, right? Even though I probably got some subs that's probably still gonna be like, nah, it's not your fault. I want y'all to call it what it is. Like I remember last year, 2K24. It was like a late stream. I was on my first bid I ever made, and there was a person we were going up against. I was playing with randoms. He shot like 30 attempts, but he dropped 40. And I was like, I'm really not mad at that because he took 30 shots to score 40. A lot of people were in the chat saying, nah, Jay, that's 40 points. I mean, he still got 40. So I want y'all to actually say be real. Don't just try to BS. Because I feel like when we try to BS, that's giving 2K what they want. They want another excuse. I keep trying to explain this to y'all. I see everything. You know what I also see? I see a dead community right now. I see no energy in the 2A community. I see a bunch of depressiveness. If I go on Twitch right now and I go to the people that are, I told you, I go on Twitch all the time and just lurk in people's chat and not say nothing, right? Just to see what's going on. I can find probably about 10 or 5 people who look depressed playing that Dead or B game, trying to figure out what the hell happened to the game that they truly love. And what's also funny? I can go and find at least 20 to 30 creators on 2K right now who not only look depressed, but like they want to crash out. Because the whole point, they're not enjoying their time on the game. And I don't care because everybody's trying to be a streamer now. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the narrative of what 2K has turned into. Not only their basketball game, but their WWE game. Okay? And hell, even a golf game probably is a failure. Who's playing golf? Y'all tell me at this point. Because the last time I checked, almost every single old head is on NBA 2K25 and they still trash. But we'll talk about that later. We done talked about that numerous times. You know what I'm saying? My whole point is, y'all, this is not getting the job done. Okay? That is the problem. And that is the stuff that bothers me because y'all love, you know, man, y'all say all of this, but y'all don't know what y'all asking for. Bro, and I want to say this by the way too. I feel like when people say y'all don't know what y'all ask for, y'all make things so complicated. A lot of things could be more simpler if you actually understand. Like, I feel like some of y'all are new. Like, you've never had that feeling of actually having fun because you're so used to 2K's low standard now. You're not used to the game actually putting a smile on your face and you actually having a phenomenal time. I told you before, there's been numerous games I've played that I could lose. If Madden 18 right now, if the servers dropped, and yes, I said numerous times, that game has had multiple issues, gameplay issues wise, but guess what? Madden, and I know I just flip flop. I'm just throwing this out there. I just want y'all to know this and hear me when I say this, because y'all don't, I think y'all don't understand. When Madden, if Madden 18 was the service on right now, I would probably do a 24-hour stream. I don't care how many times I would lose. The game was fun to me to where I could go on a 5-7 game losing streak and I'm still going to play because I'm having so much fun in the game, right? Have y'all not noticed that? And I said the same thing about EA. EA has a similar problem. Everything is about purchase, purchase, purchase. It's not about that factor of, man, I'm like, this is like for real, like, this is cool, like this is exciting, like you're not having that feeling. You're ready to feel depressed, you're ready to feel like you want to crash out. And some of y'all that be having these comments of defending 2K, y'all be having the same feelings. You know deep down in your mind, man, this is not a good game. It's not. But I'm not gonna come out and say anything about them because they are the only basketball game, right? So I mean, what can you expect? So you expect failure because the standard of 2K these last 3 to 4 to 5 years has been failure. That's what some of y'all are basically saying. No, Jay, that's not what we're saying. We're just saying y'all complain too much. How are we complaining so much if what they're doing isn't working? That's what I want to know. This is why I'm ready to have a Twitter debate. We can do that. We can look at this and not have a debate because some of y'all are just scared to call it what it is. They are what 2K has done. Again, we're not talking about just a basketball game. We're talking about a wrestling game. It has been a failed experiment, a failure. That's what it's been. I'm tired of people sugarcoating it, acting like, oh nah, they not. It's the only bad. I don't give a damn, bro. It ain't working. We sitting here with next gen consoles, and we looking at and somebody had the audacity to say, bro, sports games they were never popular on Twitch. Like, when did you make your Twitch account? And I'm not even trying to be mean. I'm just being real. Like, bro, to say the sports games ain't never been popular on Twitch. Like, come on now, that's something wild to say, but that's your opinion. But it's just not right. It's not the truth. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like the only way 2K is going to improve is when they realize stop making it about wallet, getting you to. I can imagine, bro, because I have these talks, and it really gets me to the point to where it's like, bro, I just want to go to a boxing gym, and I'm just so frustrated. And it's not that playing the game gets you to that point, even though sometimes it does, right? But it's nothing's gonna get better because you have people in our community that just have nothing but excuses for them. Like nothing but excuses. Nothing. Do you realize in on this planet when you do wrong, you don't get an excuse like that? Now, nowadays, I know a lot of stuff happens, but I'm just saying the person that's watching this video, y'all know what I'm talking about. If you've actually had a job and things like that, You seen the BS go around and you don't get no bailouts nor excuses, right? They blame you, you deal with the consequences. 2K, ever since 2K, in my opinion, 2K20, y'all can say 2K21. Whatever they've been doing, it's not working. Now I get it. Well, Jay, everybody's saying they didn't like the neighborhood because it's like I feel like people didn't like the neighborhood is because of the format. I feel like everything just clumped up together was like a sign of laziness. But when we asked for something else, I don't think that meant ruin the gameplay, make everything slow motion, make everything 20,000, 25,000 VC. Like, and this is another problem part of the community. Y'all are, once again, y'all are not honest. Yes, we didn't like the neighborhood, right? We didn't. We wanted something better. But that something better should not be more expensive. Think about it. If the next gen console already costs what, $400, $500, why the hell when you get on a 2K game, you got to come out and spend 150 for a build? And then you don't want to look like a bum, so you got to go and try to go to you got to go to these whatever stores they called, and you got to spend 5,000 for a t-shirt, 25,000 for a beanie. Like these are the problems that get ignored. And well, y'all did ask this, but we didn't ask for everything to be about microtransactions. We asked for better and new, but we didn't ask for, hey, make everything 10 times more expensive. Make builds cost almost $200. We didn't ask for that. And that's a part of the problem that the devs, I feel like they get away with. Yeah, we didn't like this, but we also didn't ask for that. How would y'all feel if y'all asked for something, right? Meaning you order something, they give something that's similar, but it's not what you really wanted. You're gonna be like, yo, I want my money back. I want my refund. And you know what some of y'all do? Y'all say, well, I mean, they're the only basketball, so I guess this is what it is. No, that's not what it's supposed to be. If you ordered something and they sent you something that you did not order, that's not right. But some of y'all, hey, that's the low standard, that's 2K. What am I gonna be mad? It's not about being mad, it's about that's never been the standard for 2K, was to be a failed product over and over again. And instead of them improving, they make things more expensive and just a bunch of more dumb animations that never work and nothing's consistent. So I want some of y'all to think about what I'm saying, bro. Take out everything that you just think about what I'm saying. And another thing too is this. As I was on Twitch, and I told you this already, but I'm gonna share this with y'all once again. I clicked on a couple of, like I said, a couple people streaming WB2K. I can tell the look on their faces that they not rocking with the game. They're playing an online match or something like that. I don't know, was it online or it might have been like a story mode thing. And they were like losing to the opponent. I'm not saying nothing. I'm looking at the chat, and the chat is LMAO, all of these laughing emojis, because you could tell the person playing the game is getting really frustrated. And so you might be like, well, bro, that's content. But that's the problem that I have with a lot of people. The game is bad. So instead of you speaking on how, the truth, what needs to be said, you rather watch somebody have a headache, crash out, and you call that entertainment, right? That's what y'all rather do. Y'all know the game isn't right. And instead of you being honest, you in the comments waiting on the why do y'all think I told y'all before people don't have their cameras on when they stream the game? Because they look very unhappy, like they're unpleased. That's what I'm saying. This is not even just about, it's bigger than 2K at this point. This is a problem that involves 2K, but it's not going to get talked about, right? I told you guys this. If y'all go back and watch Sax Montana's old videos, you'll be like, that's a different person, bro. That's a totally different person, right? Because he was himself. Now, when you watch Dimeworks videos, he's probably, like I said, you're not going to get that energy of, well, bro, I mean, Dimeworks, so, I look at his red content, it's the same thing. And of course, you're going to see that, but what we have been seeing on Twitter lately, these past couple of days, that's a different person. That's not the same person that a lot of y'all been watching of Dominic. Now, I'm not saying y'all gotta unsub from him and send hate. I'm just telling you how I see it, bro. Okay, I told you ain't nothing personal when I make my videos. I like it's all of it in the day, but what I'm seeing from dime work is they done got dime work. That's how I look at it. Okay, but I feel like as a community, we have to do a better job of holding these companies and games accountable. Because if it was you, you would be held accountable. They wouldn't give you an excuse, right? They wouldn't. They wouldn't. A lot of y'all gotta be real and hold these games and companies accountable. Okay, just hold them accountable. Just stop with the excuses. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of getting on these platforms. Whether you're, I don't care about, and that's the thing too. Don't care about being good at the game. It's like somebody now with bro's not good at the game, and he talking about they failed. Like I don't care about being good at the game, bro. I just told y'all when I played Madden years ago. At one point, I was top 100 in the world and Ultimate Team. At one point, right? Now I'm not saying I'm some elite player, but I'm just saying I had I had a really high percent. It was definitely not a high percent, but it was definitely a big winning. I had like over 1,000 wins and like probably 400 losses, something like that. But like that's Ultimate Team. My whole point is I would play that game all day, all night because I was having so much fun. I cannot tell the last time I've played 2K, other than probably 2K23, where I had a 24-hour stream. It got taken out because of copyright, right? But that's about the last time I've played 2K for more than 20 hours, right? Meaning streaming wise. Like obviously, if they combine the hours you played the game, it's gonna be more than 20 hours, right? We get all of that. But I'm talking about like streaming game wise, right? Like I haven't done that since 2K23, and that's because I had I had a goal of hitting 1K. Shout out to y'all. We hit that goal, and I promise y'all 24-hour stream, right? Which we ended up falling asleep on that stream, I think, 2 times, but we still got it done. Like I said, it's just not there because of copyright. Which now we're trying to get to 5K, right? But like I said, I want y'all to understand the whole point that I'm getting across here is that 2K, what they have failed in the direction they've been trying to get to, it's not working, and it's a disgrace. It's sad. It's sad to see games that you grew up watching, not even grew up with the sport, just turning to money hungry. That's all they care about is getting your money. Nothing else. They don't care about you actually having fun, right? They only want you to just buy, right? And I don't want to hear, well, 2K18, they had the custom teachers, but you guys ruined it. Don't say you guys ruined it, right? And see, this is what I'm gonna say. Don't say you guys ruined it. In my opinion, the devs failed that. We all knew the type of community that 2K was. We all knew the type of images that the community was gonna try to put in there. You can play Prime right now and they still got inappropriate images. But my whole point is, if you know your community, you're not surprised that that happened. Like I said, if you go play Prime now and make a team, you can probably find inappropriate images right now because guess what? That's the type of community we are. We do a lot of things. You got a lot of people they're gonna do things because they want the attention. Okay, we understand that. Why do you think you got all these people with tattoos with racism signs and things like that? Like we're not surprised, right? Because you know the community. And I've told y'all numerous times, I feel like the dev team, they don't know their community. I don't care who you sign. I don't care who you fly to the community. I don't care who you try to get in touch with and contact you to becoming a part of the 2K family. If they don't know the 2K community, it is going to be the same BS over and over again, right? So people try to say, oh, people are disrespectful to the devs. The devs don't even know their own community. So how can we even say that? I'll be fed up too. Where are they at? And then when they have these little, I want to say this by the way too. People keep saying that, oh, it's not community day. There's a certain day to where 2K they pick certain people to play the game early and have discussions. We saw it, I think 2K23, where they had a couple of content creators out there before community day to actually play the game and see what the game is going to be. So I mean, let's stop this narrative of people don't get to see the game. People do, okay? It's about who are you putting out there? Are you putting people out there that actually care about what's going on and actually care about the game? Or are you putting people out there they just are gonna just accept everything they do because they all know at the end of the day they just trying to get what is the word I'm looking for, right? Clout. You see what I'm saying? And to me, like I said, it used to be about basketball and not opportunity. Yes, I get the year we're living in 2025. A lot of stuff is internet money. I get all of that. But when it comes to gaming, gaming was never about purchase, purchase, purchase. It was about playing the game, actually having fun. How do you think these people actually build communities? When people are actually having a good time on the game, and this is why somebody said a lot of people. This is why somebody said 2K has ruined their viewership. A lot of people have built their communities on their personality and people that can relate to, right? If a lot of people back then were having so much fun in the game, you don't think they wouldn't? Why do you think a lot of people they were able to build communities? They were okay. This dude, he having a good time. His stream, he got a good vibe. You know what I'm saying? His stream lit. His community lit. You know what I'm saying? Like these is the stuff that I'm talking about. We don't have that anymore because nobody really enjoys the game. Even the people that 2K tries to claim that they're trying to partner with, they don't like the game. Why? Which how do you know that? Why ain't got their face cam on? Why they ain't got their face cam on? I find that kind of very interesting. Now I'm not calling specific people out. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? If the game was so good, where are the streams at? Where's the face cam at? You know what I'm saying? Like, where is the reality of you actually saying 2K25 a good game? See, that's my first go to. When people try to throw this, a lot of people just not creative. They're not, good at making content. Show me you actually doing that if the game is so good. Show me. Well, bro, I don't have enough time to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really do it. But you just sat there and told me the game is good. So if the game is good, you should be able to show me in what narrative and what ways this game was successful. This game is good. You should be able to tell me that. But the reality is, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. So, like I said, bro, I see y'all keep sending me these details and, updates about or asking me updates about how I feel what's going on. I told y'all, I didn't say what I need to say, bro. Reality is, I don't think nothing's going to get any better. Nothing's going to get any better. And it's not about being negative. It's about being honest, bro. Like, y'all, you watch this video. Be honest. What do you think is going to improve with 2K? Be honest. Exactly my point. Your honest answer is nothing as of right now. And that's a problem. See, you're saying nothing because what have they been doing lately? Nothing. Why you get on Twitter right now and you see every new season update, they work on adding TikTok dances and these twerk emojis, which it has nothing to do with basketball, right? I mean, it'd be better if they had these, celebrations to where people do it in the actual NBA, but instead they add these TikTok dances, these twerking emotes. That it's like, what are we doing? We got all these things, mascots that reused, and it's nothing new. It's stuff reused. They try to make it a different name. They try to say, oh, it's been 2 years since it's been in the game, but it's already been in the game. 2K was never about doing TikTok dances. Well, Jay, you talk about having fun. That's fun. How was putting TikTok dances and all of these things that number one you still probably got to buy, right? And you can't even shoot consistently on the game because we know on the RNG factor and we know how 2K does things on the game. So you tell me how that's fun. You tell me. Tell me. And what does it got to do with playing basketball? That is the problem. Well, I'm tired of saying that is the problem. I say that's the problem a lot, but y'all get what I mean when I say this stuff, bro. Like these are issues that why I feel nothing is gonna change. A lot of y'all are gonna have in y'all, opinion that, well, 2K is a game for kids. And guess what? You're right. But tell me right now, what kids are playing NBA 2K25? And don't tell me I'm capping, because when Sumanati said it, it's factual. So, like I said, be real, bro. Y'all tell me what children have y'all ran into while hooping on NBA 2K25? Give me a percentage, bro. Give me a percentage. Give me one. And I'm talking about right now. Meaning, when is the last time you've played NBA 2K25 and you have had somewhat of a, younger person on your team? Tell me. Because, that's what they make the game for. But even kids don't like this game. Because a kid likes the things that are going to be exciting. RNG is not exciting. TikTok dances. So again, you got TikTok dances, face paint, all of this stuff. What's next? Nail polish, eyeliner. It has nothing to do with basketball, right? You got all of this stuff, and you telling me you think a kid is gonna want to play this and have if they can't even make open shots? That's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me. And another thing I want to say before I end this video. Another thing I want to say is a lot of y'all that, and again, be real, that had these opinions of, bro, once 2K gets rid of the arcade style, a lot of y'all are going to be in trouble. The one thing I could recall I said was if 2K would separate squads and randoms and do it the right way, a lot of teams were going to get exposed, in my opinion. And I still had that same opinion. And I kind of wasn't lying because we saw a lot of people were saying take skill based matchmaking out, right? Which, like I said, I feel like it shouldn't have been in every mode, but a mode like the rec, when you got people trying to hunt easy matchups, it should have been in there, right? But like I said, bro, a lot of people who have said, just wait till they take all the cheese and stuff out, y'all are done. Y'all have regressed. There's a lot of people right now that have had that opinion, and you are probably shooting 30%, 20% on the game. And you're probably like, man, 2K and the animations, but it's like, hold on, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, some of y'all were saying when 2K goes this direction of gameplay that it was going to be over with, right? And you're right, it is over with. It's over with for y'all, right? For some of y'all that's watching this video. I know I have an audience of people of higher age and younger age, but a lot of my audience is really higher age. And a lot of y'all right now, y'all just y'all have a lot y'all need to work on, bro. But like I said, we already talked about that a lot of times. But I just want y'all to be honest. See, me personally, 2K23, I think I went from shooting like 47%. 2K24, I shot at least 55. 2K25, I shot 52% from the three, right? So if anything, I've still been efficient in those percentages. Half the games I played were randoms, right? Y'all already know that. Y'all see that all the time, right? That's not saying I'm good. It's just saying whenever they made these adjustments, right, of gameplay, I never, got worse, in my opinion, right? I feel like back then in the Fun 2Ks, when they had the game a certain way of gameplay, that you knew I gotta be better. You know what I'm saying? You knew you weren't gonna get no bailouts. You knew 2K wasn't gonna, let you do certain things to save you and make you not look so horrible and awful. I feel like now, if you're horrible, 2K is gonna try to bail you out. And that ruins a lot of gameplay, in my opinion, because it's like, bro, if I know what I'm doing, it should be shown. If the other guy is scared to shoot the ball, why is he getting free throw attempts? Because he, instead of him taking a wide open shot, he's going to drive in on three people and get a foul call. It shouldn't be like that, but that's how this game is transitioned to. And like I said, some of y'all were a lot of people saying when the game goes like this, don't be crying because y'all can't hoop. And it's like, bro, some of y'all regress. So I want that to be said too. And like I said, bro, I don't care about me being good or a top player. I just miss having fun on the game that I grew up watching, and that I'm pretty sure a lot of us still deep down in our heart, even though we're very frustrated and not happy with 2K, we still have love for 2K at the end of the day. Okay, and you know what's sad? A lot of people that are the so-called top streamers right now, or had these big platforms, they could probably tell you the same thing. Yeah, they love 2K, but what they're doing right now is just not it. It's not. And that's why they moved on, and that's why they left. Right? So other than that, and then I'm gonna say this too, because I seen somebody message me this, and I just want to get to this real quick before I end this video. So somebody told me a lot of the things that I'm saying is cap, and they tried to give me an example saying if we had another quarantine, the top streamers would play 2K25. No, they would not. And let me tell you why, and I'm gonna end this video. Dog, there's reactions, there's movies, there's all types of things they can do. There's discords, there's all type of things they can do, and to stay away from 2K. I promise you, you would be surprised that you think the viewership would improve, it wouldn't. It would be at the bottom of barrel because they don't want to be a part of what 2K is doing. And they'll tell you, chat, that's why I left. Chat, that's why we don't do that no more. You see what I'm saying? They'll tell you that. You'll probably like, bro, it's quarantine again. Like, why y'all not playing 2K? Why would they want to be a part of something that has nothing to do with basketball anymore? So I want you to ask yourself that before you try to tell me, oh, bro, you cap. If we had quarantine, they'd be on 2K. No, they would not be. You know how many other things like I said you could do if we were in quarantine again? They can find so much other things of content to do and still stay away from 2K and still do what they're supposed to be doing and still have fun doing things that I would suppose they love doing, which is making content. Other than that, I'm out. I didn't mean this to be a 40-minute video. I just had a lot I wanted to say, y'all. Other than that, I'm gone. Peace, man. Appreciate y'all. I'm out.